Angie mentioned the care packs we put together full of personal hygiene items we could send out. And I got a great email back about a mom who took 5 packs, one for her preteen daughter and the rest for herself. They put the notes in, and then they prayed, what do we do with them? And so they drove around looking for the opportunity to distribute these packs. And then inevitably, they just decided that they would donate them to a local food pantry. She talked about the spiritual material that was in it, and they were fine with that. So she gave it to them and had one left. What I love about this email is it's a summer movie lesson as well. The last pack sat in the back seat of my car until the other night I'd gone to see Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which in addition to being a fun ride, was surprisingly challenging in its spiritual and emotional resonance. It was about aging and loss and vulnerability, an uncomfortable emotional journey with Indy that yields lovely, unexpected dividends. So I spent the first half of the ride home sobbing as I processed the weight of everything I just experienced in the movie. You got to love a movie that makes you cry. And Indiana Jones, right? That's like brings it all together for me. I stopped at the light in Framingham Center and finally got myself under control, wiped off my tears, took a deep breath, and I saw a man walking between the cars holding a cardboard sign. I immediately rolled down my window, reached into the back seat for my daughter's pack, and handed it to him while saying, "It's toiletries." "God bless you," he said, took it and walked away. It's so easy to assume that people who are down in their luck must be there because it's their own fault, that they made bad life choices, that they don't know God, etc. But the degree of a person's material wealth says nothing about the quality of their relationship with God. And I felt like that man's blessing had given me a lot more than I had given him. Thanks again for all the hard work you guys have put into making this outreach possible. I love this story because it's a great story about parenting with faith, including your children in outreach, going to movies and looking for the Spirit speaking to you through whatever breadcrumbs God has put through that. That's what we do with the summer movie series. Now today, we're going to look at a feline hero who faces a crisis that every one of us in this room will have to face. Oh, by the way, send me your stories, please.
We are gathered here today to say goodbye to Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots, you are down to your last life. You need to retire.
Oh, brother cats, sister kitties, meet your new roommate.
Well,
I'm supposed to be a fearless hero, a legend.
This is a person party. That's your party.
So this is where dignity goes to die.
the years start coming and they don't stop coming.
You're Puss in Boots? Let's talk.
No hablo inglés.
¿Hablas español? Yo también. Ah, ¿de dónde eres? ¿Te gustan las fiestas?
I don't speak Spanish either.
You're funny. What's your story?
My story.
What are we looking at?
Cats have 9 lives. Watch! Watch! Watch!
Boss, I think you set the oven too high.
Now I am on my last life.
Oh, no.
Legend tells of a wishing star, of a single wish waiting to be granted. Kitties of Boss, I need your help.
Is the great Puss in Boots asking for help?
Well, you see, Kitty, please! That wish could get me my lives back.
Okay, Possum Face. I won't make you beg. But first,
Hey, slow down!
I know what I'm doing.
What? What's funny? Nothing should be funny.
Quieto. Everyone is looking for a wishing star.
I'm going to wish for everything to be just right.
You will find your reward does not come easily.
Puss in Boots?
Goldie.
Bears?
All right, let's get it over with. Without life to spare, I am nothing.
When you only have one life, that's what makes it special.
Go get him, Tiger.
Hey! Take it easy. This is gonna be fun. I am Puss in Boots. The wishing star is in the dark forest. We step through as one. Ready? 1, 2, after you.
Wait, what?
Dog? Still alive?
Let's go find out.
Wait!
That isn't, look, I'm not a cat person. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anyone, but I would love that cat. That cat can stay in my house anytime, right? Puss in Boots is on a journey to answer a question that all of us have to ask. How will you use your one life? It's a surprisingly deep, existential movie about facing death. How will you do it? So that's what we're going to talk about this morning, because I think Jesus has a lot to say about that, as well as the rest of the Bible. So God, I just want to pray that in this moment, your words would be my words, that the Spirit speaking through me will touch the lives of people in unexpected ways. I just love you, Lord, and I trust you with the moment, and thank you for the moments I already had. Amen. All right, so the movie Puss in Boots starts our hero off on a journey. Every hero has to face a crisis in a good story. Here's his.
Please. Relax! I am Puss in Boots! I laugh at death! You see? And anyway, I am a cat. I have 9 lives.
And how many times have you died already?
I don't know. I never counted. I am not really a math guy, you know?
Gato!
Take it easy, doctor. Let's see. There was the running of the bulls in Pamplona. Hola, señorita. Do you like gazpacho? Guess it's not your night, fellas. I'm telling you, a cat always lands on his feet. Watch! No, Puss in Boots doesn't need a spotter. Watch! No need to pull into port. This will revolutionize travel. Watch! Excuse me, does this have shellfish in it?
Yes, sir.
Boss, I think you set the oven too high.
I am a master of the baking. Watch! And then there was the giant today. So what is that, like a 4?
That makes 8, Puss. You are down to your last life. My prescription? No more adventures for you. You need to retire.
And that's his challenge. He's recklessly used his life in the pursuit of vainglory, right? Feeling that he's got this safety net, he just continuously takes these risks. He lives his life as if he's invulnerable. He's like a teenager who just thinks they can do anything without being hurt, a young adult who doesn't even think twice about death, or those of us at the stage of life where we realize we're now closer in years to death than we are to our birth. And he has to face the challenge, what will I do? Because he's never taken seriously the reality of death. He reminds me of the story that Jesus tells. Jesus told him the story, the farmer of a certain rich man produced a terrific crop. He talked to himself, what can I do? The barn isn't big enough for this harvest. And he said, here's what I'll do. I'll tear down my barns and I'll build a bigger one. And then I'll gather in all my grain and goods and I'll say to myself, self, you've done well. You got it made. Now you can retire. Take it easy. Have the time of your life. And just then God showed up and said, fool, tonight you die. And your barn full of goods, who gets it? That's what happens when you fill your barn with self and not with God. I love that sentence. That's what happens when you fill your barn with self and not with God. Spoiler alert, barn is a metaphor for life. And it's this idea that what are you accumulating in your life and for who? Because at the end of life, you may find that all the stuff you put in the barn, all the things you pursued, all the things you accumulated, all that you wanted to do may feel meaningless at the end, but now it's too late. Or even worse, when you die, you may discover all the stuff in your barn was meaningless and now it's empty. And you stand before God with nothing, because you can only bring 2 things with you when you die: your relationship with God and your relationship with people. Now, Puss in Boots doesn't know anything about that. So Puss in Boots goes on a different journey. He goes, The lights have been. Puss in Boots goes on a different journey. He goes into a journey where he actually encounters death. He gets so scared. The first time in his life that our fearless hero experiences fear. And you know what he does? He runs. He goes into retirement, literally buries his identity and gives it up and lives in anonymity, slowly deteriorating because he's not using anything that he's received or who he is, until he finds out about the magic wishing star. You know, starlight, star bright, the first star I wish tonight, the wish I make, you know the story. And so he's got it, right? He finds out that if he goes to find the actual star and he recites that incantation, he'll get any wish he wants, like his 8 lives back. And so he goes on the journey, and on the journey he picks up friends. Perito, the therapy dog, and Kitty Soft Paws. It's an animated movie, right? And he goes on this journey with them towards the star, what he's looking for. He thinks. He builds relationships with people in the midst. But death never stops pursuing him. He even has an encounter with death that leaves him like this.
Thank you, Perrito.
What's going on with you, Puss?
I am down to my last life, and I am afraid.
Well, it's okay to be afraid.
No, not for Puss in Boots. I'm supposed to be a fearless hero, a legend. But without lives to spare, I am nothing. I need that wish to get my lives back.
You should tell Kitty. She would understand.
No. She cannot hear of this.
Okay.
Now what happens, you tell your therapy dog things you don't tell other people, right? So he tells this therapy dog about this, but he goes on to say that there's a backstory to him and Kitty. He left Kitty at the altar. Because when he says that he was the great, fearless hero, not really, because he was afraid of commitment. So here's our hero, afraid of commitment and afraid of dying. He sounds like most Americans, right? Isn't that true? Right? We back out of our commitments. We're afraid to make commitments. We leave people at the altar. We walk away from family and friends because commitment scares us as much as death. Now, as it is the way of death, you cannot escape death. Eventually, it catches up to you, and Puss in Boots finds himself cornered by death. See what happens.
I've enjoyed the chase, Gato. But I think we've reached the end now, you and I. You gonna take the coward's way out? Run away to more lives? Or you gonna fight? Pick it up. Go on, pick it up. What's the matter? Lives flashing before your eyes?
No, just one. I'm done running. Fear me if you dare.
This is gonna be fun.
He finds courage to face death. Where did he find his courage from? From the people he met along the way. The relationships that he built changes his perspective from the fear of death to the courage to face it with them. What a powerful change. Do you want to know if he defeats death? I'm not going to tell you yet. Because we got this insight in our Bible already. It's been there for thousands of years. We read it often at weddings. 2 people are better off than one, for they help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help. But someone who falls alone is in real trouble. Likewise, 2 people lying close together can keep each other warm. But how can you be warm alone? A person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two stand back to back and conquer. Three are even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken. What you find in relationships is help, comfort, and strength. And when you have relationships that give you help, relationships that give you comfort, and relationships that give you strength, then you can face death with courage, like this.
Pick it up. I know I can never defeat you, Lobo, but I will never stop fighting for this life.
Fui a jugar con mi comida. You're ruining this for me. I came here for an arrogant little legend who thought he was immortal. But I don't see him anymore. Live your life, Puss in Boots. Live it well. You know we will meet again, right?
Sí, hasta la muerte.
I love that scene. You know what I love about that scene? You can't run away from death. You're never going to escape a moment when you face death. But how will you choose to live life? Hasta la muerte. It's a play on words in Spanish. So hasta la vista, goodbye, see you later. It's I'll see you again, death. And when he returns to his relationships and he finds the strength that moves him forward on that. And he pushes us with this existential question, how are you going to live your one life? It's like death said, I was looking for this arrogant, he was angry because he was arrogant. He treated a gift that he had been given in a reckless manner, disposing of all these lives instead of doing good with them in a way that would have expanded the lives of other people necessarily. He was recklessly using them up for himself. Made death angry. But when death could meet somebody who had courage and had found relationships, then it changed the perspective. Go live your life well. This is, the author we just read from this book called Ecclesiastes has another insight about life. Even so, I've noticed one thing at least, that is good. It's good for people to eat, drink, enjoy their work under the sun during the short life God has given them, and to accept their lot in life. And it's a good thing to receive wealth from God and the good health to enjoy it. To enjoy your work and accept your lot in life, this is indeed a gift from God. God keeps such people so busy enjoying life that they can take no time to brood over the past. You know where you find life? You know where you find strength? Do you know where you find courage? Do you know where you find joy? You find it starts with, as he said previously, in the relationships that you build. And if you say, but I don't have those type of relationships, you can find it in meaningful work. Yeah, I'm not sure I have meaningful work. You can just find it all around you. Maybe it's a beautiful blue summer sky. Maybe it's the cool breeze on a hot day. Maybe it's listening to the laughter of children. There is life in life. If you spend your life not running away from death, but pursuing life, then you have courage for the end. Right, but there is a little bit more, because Puss in Boots stops at a point. Because the question still begs itself all the way back from the very beginning of the message when Jesus told this story, we're all going to die. And I said, there's only two things you take with you, your relationship with God and your relationship with people. Well, we'll be talking about the relationship with people, but how are you in your relationship with God? Do you have courage to go through death because of the God you know on the other side? Are you able to stand before him with confidence, with joy? I have discovered through my life that Jesus Christ is the best way to face God. Jesus said, I'm the gate, and those who come in through me, they'll be saved. There is a day when we all die. There is a day when we all face God. There's a day when we bring to God all that we have to give him, our relationship with him and with people. How do you feel about that relationship you have with God? What confidence, strength, and joy do you have? Because I know this, that in standing side by side, Jesus introducing me to the Father, that I'll be welcomed into his presence. I'm a part of his family. And there is a joyful anticipation that comes where death is not an end, but it's a threshold to new life. So, question. How will you use your one life? Think about that for a moment. And then Jason's going to come out and pray. But think, how are you going to use that one life? The one that you've been given, reckless abandon or a good investment?